What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chronicles of Chef. I'm Scott Hamilton, and in today's video, we're doing another episode of Freezer Diving. That's right, the series where I go into freezers, find something, and then turn it into some deliciousness. Let's get diving. This was a good find right here. 2-inch thick pork chops, frozen back in March of 2025, so about a year old, but they're perfect for stuffing. Oh yeah, stuffed pork chops. It's gonna be on the menu. Let's get cooking. All right, let's get started on our pork chops. First thing we gotta do is deal with the fact that it's frozen solid. Just came out of the freezer. Normally, I would say put it in the fridge overnight. Tomorrow, boom, ready to go. I wanna cook this today. And I also want to take advantage of this time while it's thawing. We're going to cut this back. We're not going to cut it too much. I want to kind of be able to let some air out. And I want to be able to, as best I can, kind of be able to, hopefully be able to really seal. For the marinade, I'm going to use a leftover vinaigrette from my vinaigrette video. This one has honey and mustard in it to help kind of hold it together. It's been out of the fridge for a little bit, and you can see that there's some slight separation, but it's really, the oil is pretty solid. So we're going to give it a good shake, mix it all up, and then we'll pour it over the top here. Oh, smells so good. White balsamic, dill, some chives, some Bonneville seasoning from High Desert Kitchen. All delicious things. And this is probably close to about 2 tablespoons. And I'm just going to use it all. Just drop that in. All right. A little spillage here and there, but overall, not too bad. We want to kind of now spread this out throughout our pork chop here. We want it touching as much of it as possible. We're going to fold that over, drop that in, wash my hands. All right, now that my hands are nice and clean, we can get the lid onto our pork chops, put it in the fridge while I head to the store to get whatever other ingredients that I want to stuff in this. I'm going to try to make this as simple and easy and straightforward as possible with minimal effort to make a delicious stuffed pork chop. Let's go. When I got back from the store, these pork chops, which are super thick, were not ready to go. So I went ahead and put them in an extra Ziploc bag and then ran them under cold water while I prepped out all my other ingredients. While I was at the store looking for inspiration, I saw this artichoke dip on sale for like pretty much half off, maybe a little bit more. Either way, I said that we could jazz this up and stuff it inside of these pork chops, and it's gonna be delicious. So let's get zhuzhing up our artichoke dip here. We're gonna throw probably close to about 3 teaspoons in here. I'd rather have a little bit more stuff in than not enough. And of course, we're gonna give it a little try. That is some simple, basic, clean artichoke dip. To zhuzh it up a little bit, we're gonna add some mustard. I got a tablespoon of ground mustard here. I want those seeds, I want that texture. Next is we're gonna do a little fresh thyme into here, maybe about 1.5 teaspoons or so. Next, I chopped up some arugula. So we're gonna throw about, I don't know, 1/2 cup or so of chopped arugula into here. Add some nice pepperiness to it, gives it a little bit more green. And I know this like feels like a lot, but this cheese is gonna melt down. The arugula will wilt, so this will actually kind of pack down nicely, but this will give us a lot to kind of stuff in there, have a little bit of overflow. It's gonna be great. Hit it with a little bit of salt. And we're going to hit it with a little bit of King's Peak seasoning from High Desert Kitchen. Love this stuff. A great replacement would be like an Old Bay. This is a little bit more smoky, a little bit more barbecue-esque. So I just wanted to add that little bit of that smoky, a little bit of sweet. Oh yeah, the arugula is helping. There's a little bit of sweet and smoky from the King's Peak in there. This is going to be delicious. To stuff this guy, I am going to leave the fat cap because I want to make sure I can sear that fat cap really well. So I'm going to come to the exact opposite side, and I'm going to start with a kind of a smaller hole. And I want to go in. I don't want to pierce all the way through. I can feel the knife over here. We're going to kind of bring it over, bring it up as high as possible, flip my knife over, do the same on this side. Not going on. I want to open up as much of the cavity as I possibly can. So I want a nice big open space to stuff everything in, but I also want to make sure that this hole stays as small as possible so we lose as little as possible. All right, now this monstrosity, we're gonna do the same thing here. Gonna poke it in, wrap it around, go, get my finger in there. Yeah. Now for the fun part. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna use my hands. This mixture isn't gonna lend itself very well to spooning it in. There we go. I'll grab this guy. And you can do any sort of artichoke dip on this. I mean, You can use any kind of dip that you want. It makes it a lot easier. It's a pre-made thing. It's just one less step to do. If you want to make homemade artichoke dip, that's great. If you want to do a jalapeno, a roasted garlic, whatever you want to do, a spinach artichoke dip, that would be delicious. I would have skipped the step of me adding the arugula. I like the idea of the arugula, that little pepperiness. I think arugula and pork go so well together. Let's get this last little bit on this side, stuffed a little bit more. Yeah. I want this to have a really, really beautiful kind of crust on the outside. We're obviously going to sear it off before we throw it in the oven to finish cooking, but I really want to amp up the crust kind of vibe. So I've got a little bit of cornstarch here. We're going to season it with some of that King's Peak. We don't need to wet this or do anything like that because we have that marinade on there from the vinaigrette. So it's going to take care of all that moisture kind of thing. And again, we're not looking for like a full battering situation. I just want, there we go, a good crust. And then any excess cornstarch will help thicken a pan sauce that we can make after we've seared these guys off. There we go. We're just going to grab our pork chop. Drop them right in. Just give it a quick little roll in the cornstarch. And I'm not going to really hit the fat cap. I don't really want to stop or prevent anything from that fat cap being able to render down. There's a nice coating. So really simple, nothing crazy. We're not doing a whole lot here. Set it on our rack over here. This guy. And again, I think that this was like maybe, it wasn't a whole lot. This is maybe about a quarter cup of cornstarch. There we go. Let's get this place cleaned up and get ready to sear off our pork chops. All right. Oh yeah. We're working with our stainless steel pan. It is hot enough. We got some good beading everywhere. Loving that. We can get rid of those guys. We're gonna hit it with some high heat oil. Whoops. So we're gonna hit it with some avocado oil. Let that heat up. So we're going to go ahead and start with our fat cap side down. Fat cap side down. Oh yeah. I had it at really, really high heat and then I've dropped it back down as we're letting this kind of just, like I said, render out. We want that pork fat to melt away and give us all that delicious pork flavor, both to sear off and create our crust. Oh, there we go. I like the look of that. That is looking beautiful. We're going to drop that side down. I'm not looking to do the majority of the cooking here in the pan. I'm really just looking to capture a good sear on everything and then finish it in the oven. I have the oven preset to 375, so it's cranking, rocking, and rolling. But really, we just want a good, it's called a Maillard reaction, where you're going to get some good caramelization. The color is going to change. It's going to give you that crust. Cornstarch is going to kind of help amplify that little bit of texture to it, which I think is going to be great. Go ahead and look at this guy. Beautiful. Loving that. All right, let's see how we're looking on this one. Oh, yeah. So as you can see, this is where we didn't have any cornstarch. It's fallen off. That's okay. But look at that beautiful crust that we got going here. And over here, this whole side, oh, that's just adding some flavor. It's adding texture. You don't need to do cornstarch. You don't need to do flour. You don't need to do anything like that. You can skip all of those and just go straight into the pan and get a good hard sear on your pork chop. It's still going to be delicious. All right. Just a quick sear of, our cornstarch yumminess stayed in the pan. Oh well. That's why you have two sides. You have the presentation side and the other side. Here we go. We're going to throw these in the oven. I'm probably going to cook them for about 15 or so minutes. And in that, while that's going, we'll go work on our sauce. All right, so we're going to kind of break some of this stuff up. See if we can't use this leftover cornstarch to help thicken up a sauce. I've got about a tablespoon or so of apple cider vinegar. We're going to use that to kind of deglaze everything. And then we're going to come in with a half a cup of roasted garlic, better than bouillon, turned to stock kind of a deal. There we go. We've got our apple cider vinegar in there. We've got a little bit of stock. We're going to throw just a little bit of mustard in here. I had this on a medium-low temperature, but we're just going to kind of let this reduce down and thicken up while our pork chops are going. Throw a little thyme in here just to kind of bring those flavors throughout, make sure we're kind of matching everywhere. Looking at this sauce, it's pretty chunky. We'll see what it looks like when it's reduced down a little bit more. see if we should strain it off or what we should do. Let's give this a little try, see where we're at. I haven't added any salt or anything like that to it. Very bright, but there's that richness from the roasted garlic. It's not too salty. It's nice and acidic, both from the mustard and from the apple cider vinegar. The thyme in there is great. It's nice and refreshing. I think this is going to turn out good. As you can see, we're starting to thicken up a little bit. It's starting to slightly coat the spoon. We're looking really good. There's no time like the present to check in on our pork chops. They are looking absolutely beautiful. All right, let's give these a little temperature test. Okay, that was about 8 minutes. So another 5 to 7, and I think we'll be right on point. Our sauce is really starting to reduce down. It's looking beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and kill the heat, and we're gonna drop in about a tablespoon of butter, and we're just gonna mix this in and kind of emulsify it, kind of give our sauce a little bit of body and richness and a little bit of sheen. All right, this is looking beautiful. It's coating the spoon rather well. I like that. Whoa. A little on the salty side because of that bouillon situation. To balance out that, we're gonna hit it with a little bit of sugar and just a splash of vinegar because we don't want it too vinegary. We don't want it too much of a bite. All right. Oh, there we go. Yep. All right, so I got this little pot over here that we are going to drop this sauce into. And this is what I mean by like a deeper, more steep side. This is gonna help it from reducing too fast. Also, it's like adorable, right? Oh, yes. Look how beautiful these guys are looking. All right, let's give it some. Okay, we're on the hot side there, right here in the middle, 145. Okay, perfect. So you really want to make sure that you're cooking your pork to like 145 degrees. You can cook it to 140 and then let it rest. We've got lots of moisture in here, so I'm not too worried about overcooking, but these are looking beautiful. We're gonna let these rest, and while they're resting, let's make a little salad. We are going to use another vinaigrette that I had left over from my vinaigrette recipe video. This one's a little bit more thick, a little bit more luxurious. It's a bit stronger of emulsification. Don't know what I'm talking about? Check out that video right there. But we're just gonna add a little bit here. See, as you can see, it's nice and rich. It's kind of a little bit more on like the aioli kind of side of things. It's got an egg yolk in there, mustard, some honey, then some Bonneville seasoning, dill, chives. It is tasty, tasty. But whenever I'm dressing a salad, I like to get my salad dressing into my bowl and kind of have it spread out in the bowl. I personally think that it makes it easier to coat everything in the salad. We are gonna then hit it with a little thinly sliced shallots. Really want this to be nice and bright and fresh to go against our delicious sauce, which is looking beautiful and holding great, and our stuffed pork chop. I have some apple batons here. Now, I have them soaking in water to help prevent them from turning brown. Some nice little apple slices in here. We'll throw a few more in here. Yeah. And then we got some arugula. Throw that in. Give this a nice toss. That right there is a beautiful little arugula, apple, and shallot salad. Nice and simple. I think it's time to plate. First, I'm going to throw down a little bit of this salad, kind of off center on the plate here. Mainly because I'm necessarily going to use it as a full bed, but I just feel like some green kind of popping out from underneath will be quite wonderful. Got this little shallot ring we'll throw right on top. There we go. We got our sauce here looking absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna throw just a little bit down. Kind of spread it out a little bit. We're going to take our stuffed pork chop, put them just like that. Just going to kind of drizzle, especially over that spot where there isn't much of a quote-unquote Maillard reaction. We're just going to kind of let it go. And that, my friends, is a freezer dive to remember. Stuffed pork chop with a little apple arugula salad, and a pan sauce to go with it. Mmm. Smells phenomenal. I'm excited to try this. I think we dig in on this thing and we just have to go straight in, you know? All right, we're just gonna go straight down the middle. Oh, and look at that cross cut. Ooh, it's looking beautiful. Get some cheesy goodness. Oh man. Get a little bit of everything. That is delicious. The artichoke dip is nice and rich and creamy. That Parmesan in there is nutty. The smokiness from the King's Peak is very subtle. The crust on this is great. And that sauce, oh man, maybe I didn't make enough, but it is all good. Let's try a little bit of this salad. Bright, refreshing, especially going against this pork that is very savory, feels a little heavy, but I think now what we need to do is a little bit of both. And I think that the switching back and forth is great. The salad will help kind of cleanse the palate, get back into so that this isn't overwhelming. But oh man, that is delicious. Delightful, amazing, wins all around. The pork is cooked absolutely beautifully. It's not dry, it's nice and moist. Could have let it rest a little bit longer. I was a little impatient. Surprise, surprise. The crust on it, is phenomenal. Okay, last bite for now. That bite had a little bit of that fat cap that was on there, so it was like this extra caramely, savory, sweet pork, fatty, delicious goodness that like just melted in my mouth. And like, that was a winning bite. Love that. Thank you so much for watching. This was another successful freezer dive. I think this pork chop turned out beautifully. The salad was bright. I think all in all, it was a win, and I hope that it inspires you to try a new technique on something that you pull out of your freezer. What do you got to lose? Nothing except for learning a new skill, trying something new, maybe adding a new favorite into the rotation. Like, subscribe, do all those fun things. We'll see you next time.